okay? Sound check. Yes, all seems to be good. As always, I have my laptop open when I start streaming to quality check, and it should be as clean as it ever could be right now because I have the internet to myself today. So, anyway, we are back. Back with Siren, and I am going to make a concerted effort. Maybe not finish in part 40, but ideally make some solid ground. So I can't remember if she was, and she's wearing the Christmas skin, by the way. Kinda cute. I got a interesting assortment of stuff here. This is the best shield you'll ever get. I don't think she was, well, she might be muling. Yes, that's right, she's hanging on to this because when she hits level 30, it'll be a good combiner. So, we were working on data mining. Oh my god, it's Mormon here. Any other missions? There's a bunch of... a whole lot of side stuff that... most of it, except for... except for time trials, which I really don't like. Most of this I would do in a first playthrough. Could go do that. Oh, I did those. I may have done one or two things off stream, as I've said I tend to do if they're not story mission. Seriously, why is it so warm in here? So, that means I don't need to stay here. One of the best shields, one of the best SMGs. Yeah, she's level 29. And that DLC that synchronizes with, that fills the gap between 2 and 3. Although technically Tails also helps fill the gap, and I'm 2 chapters from being done Tails, so I gotta get through that. To the boneyard. Try not to have too much handling, no one's smacking my headset. Loading screen, loading screen.
Now, my rides may not be safe, reliable, or cheap, but, catch a ride?
They must have put a couple new skins in, because I remember it used to be 69 in total. I think that new DLC added a tiny bit of stuff. I almost never use the saw blade. The barrels are so much better. It's like that. It drains your battery. Oh my god. I've started using rechargeable batteries though, so it's getting a little tiresome. That to me is the most jarring difference between this and the remaster of number 1. In this, you use B to get out of the vehicle. One, you use X. And you don't get the looking behind you.
Damn it! You okay? Looks like the ladder's busted. Still, the pipe looks cracked. I bet if you raise the pressure, you could blast the pipe wide open. Get inside that way. Yeah. Head to one of the pumping stations.
Slam! Mordecai! I made it to the Hyperion outpost. Just give me some time and I'll steal a drop barge. Once y'all find out where the warrior is, we can all go after it together.
Low bridge.
Good. You made it. Now crank those valves to raise the pressure.
Sucker.
Sometimes if it's like a white gun on the ground, I might ignore it, but I can't ignore it. The beat is wonderful. And because this is a slagging... No, it's not. How did I just do slow? Oh. It's still I love this shit.
Man, this is where the cars live. Get you one.
Get wrecked! It's a phenomenal shield. Like, I want a higher level version because... like, just having like a 55, even if it was 53 to 55, you could use it for a good 10 levels on 60 plus characters and you would just wreck so much face. Using this.
Cool.
Robots roll
Now,
around.
hit the other two pump stations and raise the pressure till that pipe's fit to burst. Then you can bust the pipe, get into the stockade, and find out where the warrior's buried.
Stop.
Hey, buddy, it's me, Roland. Let's kill Handsome Jack and then we'll all go out for milkshakes.
No, I'm just playing. He's still really dead. Grabbed his Echo unit when I left. Just wanted to tell you that Lilith is doing a bang-up job charging the vault key for me. The warrior will be awake in no time.
Something interesting about this whole piece of this map, this on the building part. The years I've been playing this game, there's never a reason to come out here. I don't think there's any side missions that actually takes you.
Gotcha.
Obviously, I'm not unstoppable. Demigod, level 60.
Surrender.
Still pretty dangerous.
Success imminent.
Stay put.
My controller is absolutely wearing out too, because I've got... Yeah. Give me your radio. Do I? Thought I had a... Well, no, apparently not. What is this thing? Dead ahead. I cannot engage. Is there like a turret parked up there or something? Or is it underground? Wouldn't surprise me if someone fell through the map. I've seen it happen before. A loot midget fell through the map on me at one point, so I couldn't kill him and potentially get something orange. That was irritating. Also had it where it was like a jet loader midget, and you actually get down to die and he flies away, and then you can't find him again. Like basically he'll fly out of the map and
Hey y'all, welcome to the new and improved Catch a Ride. Now with 47% more than 26% death annually. That is down from last year. Sure was.
reading an article about how basically say there's like a needless amount of lootable stuff. Well, that's the lure. Ambient. I thought the Siren was unstoppable. Get a Ruby shield. Thank you. Sorry, where's it?
Die.
In a dead zone where I can't see you. Seriously, they were up in black. Sustained fight, these guys are actually the worst because they just, like when you're trying to get up to bunker, these guys show up, they are just especially third tier.
Sounds like the pipes are nearly bursting. Hit the last pumping station and we'll be ready to blast the pipeline open.
This will hurt.
Yes, my controller is severely worn out. I'm going to have to get it replaced before Borderlands 3 drops. Yes, my right bumper is almost totally non-responsive now. It's a 25% chance that it will actually yield a grenade throw on the first touch. And the right stick is every once in a while, like, for my sensitivity level, this is a good movement speed. Every once in a while, going left will be at normal speed, and then going right will suddenly be like a third of speed. Drift happens too, where you'll set the controller down and you're not touching anything, and your character is just very slowly doing took a compressed air canister and blew it out, kind of the joint of the stick. So it seems to have kind of stopped that drift, actually. Slow, clockwise pan. The right bumper are things that are going to need not as easy of a fix. Oh. And the controller's as old as the console. This was not a first generation one, second gen. Like, when I say generation, I just mean like production batch. Like you wait. I've always taken that approach. I'm gonna wait a month or two after something comes
To the moon!
We're getting one. Dead. Team. I remember first time coming into these maps and being like, what? It's the area from the first game! Sort of. Because a lot of where you are right now, in comparison to the next chunk over to the left, which is Firestone, in the first game, you couldn't get this far in this direction. So, I imagine a good bit of it was kind of rebuilt. Like, it's not going to be completely... Like, if you took all of the man-mades out of this area, I imagine it would look a little different than what was built in the first game. But still, it's neat. Switch. Yeah, the responsiveness of A and X are still so pretty. A little floaty too. Though it is not Borderlands' fault. The A button is messed up.
Pressure the pipeline so
It is
high,
GTA.
a little force will pop it like
Hold,
a blister.
hold A to sprint, hold A to jog, or tap hammer A to sprint. That's the worst controller design imaginable. With a game like this, like tons of games let you rebind your keys, but GTA might have. But the problem is GTA was trying to be so much at once. Like there's nowhere else you could put that control. Like to me, clicking in the left stick, not having to hold it, but just having to click it is, as with this game's controls, is the perfect way to do sprint.
You there? Good. Now, ram the pipe into the vehicle. Probably won't kill you. Hopefully. I heard that all the way back in Sanctuary. You can get to the stockade through the pipeline now. Get inside and find out where Jack's got the warrior.
You don't know how much of the TV audio my mic is picking up, but that's left it pretty low because I can't find my remote because probably on the floor under my bed somewhere. Oh yeah, and my PS3 died on me, so can't use it anymore. And thank God I had the. Thankfully, I had the input set to Xbox, and there's controls right on the TV, obviously, but some of them are a little non-responsive too, because I bought this TV secondhand. It's also getting old, and there's... I know for a fact that if you have like a bright white screen, if you just load up like an image that is just nothing but white, you can see a couple lines that are dark. Almost like dead pixels, but not completely dead. They're just like dying, basically. Give me the box. doing that, it means you don't have to come down from the other side, but it's very easy to come down from the other side. Be careful here, do not fall in. Up the side, and to the ladder. Excuse me.
Help! No shield!
You're dead. Pretty dangerous. And yeah, if you're maining an SMG, the Wildcat mod is definitely good. Accelerate, mind's eye, and wreck. Bullet speed, criticals, and melee, as well as when phase locked to get a fire rate boost and damage boost. Yeah, that's what I would say. If this same rock body is here, it's in the first game, then you just can't see beyond it, basically. Because from here you can go down. Sorry, where's it go down? Yeah, you can go down this end and you can just get straight to the crate. Just go through that tube a little bit. A little bit of skags. Barf. That's something I did not remember. The barf skags are actually pretty dangerous in the first game. I think it was just like the barf like did more damage. In this game, it's just more of a nuisance than anything. I already have it, but it's... That's also where the right bumper is necessary to roll to the right. If I really do a focus press, but I like gentle taps isn't really working. Oh yeah, and the down on my D-pad every once in a while does like a double jump. Won't be using that. Won't be using that. Won't be using that. Because rare loot is the name of the game. Just playing some higher level characters. They were burning through grenades because you need them when you're this low and you've got some of this gear. You just don't need it. Yeah, because, like, obviously the wall isn't here in the first game. The whole pipeline stuff isn't here. But all of this area is. Like, you come into Firestone. You come out the front of Firestone. You come down.
Every bit of data in the Hyperion network ends up archived here. Mining information, security footage. It all flows to the stockade. Get inside.
Fire weapon, I do. But
I stole the drop barge. Hyperion was no match for my secret punch you in the face until you die fighting style. When the time comes, we'll fight our way to the vault together.
That's a little different when you come out of the gate of Firestone. There's a little pit. Okay, no, it's still here. It's basically. I think it got scaled a little differently. Which may be an tourist getting shot at because I'm so confident. Yeah, there's like level 2 skags that constantly spawn here. You just smack them and they die. There's an unlimited supply of idiots who would spawn out of this little hallway over here. They would just keep spawning and spawning from here and come rolling down, and they would be shooting at the skags that spawn over here. So basically, essentially what happened is areas that were fenced off by the sentry turrets in the first game is now just a literal wall. I will do the side missions in here because I haven't talked about it before. The pistol that Una Baja could do. Actually, incredibly useful. It's not amazing for damage, but it's a 500% chance of critical. 500% critical damage when you land a critical.
Increasing aggression.
What I've had. Hello. Switch that off so I can make use of these.
Thanks for accepting my job. Hyperion robbed my Uncle Teddy and sent him to die on this armpit of a planet. I need you to search his cabin in the Arid Nexus for something I can use to avenge his death. You'll need to access my uncle's secret lab. Find some evidence that Hyperion stole his weapon designs. God is my witness. The Baja clan is what's over.
In personal opinion, I almost always turn into this wave shotgun. You get the pistol from her, but you get the wave shotgun from if you turn into Hyperion, because it's one of the variable terms. What is happening? And that shotgun's just not very good. It actually works in the first game. Like, it can be good for a shotgun if you don't have any good shotguns. I just find it kind of useless in this way. Shroud until we get right up to the stockade. Now Zed's shop is open. As usual, I'm just making sure everything's marked. Recharge rate. There is actually no point in me keeping this because there is no other character low enough to want to use it. I do have a second Psycho who's just capacity for orange, like his storage vault in Sanctuary is just expanded capacity for orange items. But he doesn't benefit from that. He's the one class that benefits from the relics that give you increased fight for your lifetime and ammo capacity. Like, that's the one character where I would actually use those kinds of relics. Everything else is marked. It's interesting, I'm gonna get rid of this just because it's not terribly useful. I'm not sure how long it's been since she had
Welcome to
really
Dr.
good.
Zed's Portable Clinic. What can I get for you? You're an organ.
Since she had a good sniper.
Hey, Roland. I appreciate you offer to move into Sanctuary, but I got a lot of stuff here in Firestone. Sanctuary sounds nice and all, but Firestone's my home. I made my decision. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die in the city I was born. Firestone.
Attention, citizen of Firestone. Die.
Oh, piss. On second thought, Roland, when's the soonest you can come pick me up?
I think technically that's the last one you're supposed to pick.
Wow.
All that green stuff. I might consider that for a human enemy.
Almost dead? I can fix that.
Quick bit of looting. Yeah, you don't get to reopen this container because this is the gun shop and there's some lootables.
Welcome to my humble shop.
Oh, oh yeah, and this spot up top, just because it had been so long since playing it, obviously you can get up here in this game. It's a map challenge. You can see the claptrap that's up here in the first game, but I don't think there's any way to actually get to it. That could be a very good shotgun. I just love the world. Just the Mad Max quality of everything. Basically, and just the idea that these habitats are all modular and you can stick 3 or 4 together and basically make a trailer out. It's just neat. Still using that Triquetra. Might even just switch them for now. I know I said that previously. There's a reason I'm level 29 and still carrying this level 17 Triquetra, because it is that effective. It is good for that long. I still don't know if I would use this. This was a key weapon, but it's a slagging weapon. 1 point more damage, but it also uses ammo really fast. I think I'm just gonna get rid of it for now. Is there any interest? I was gonna say, is there any interest in wearing a different shield?
Sure.
Nope.
Who needs a medicines when you got style?
And yeah, I'm off doing a side mission. It's a good side mission. It gives you lore. Lore! You're out in this area doing this part. You open up another side mission. Side mission. Oh, there was just a secret. Is it always the last one you get? I don't know. It's a good mission though. Fell face down. Cool.
What a nice day. Just walking out in the sun, talking into my echo recorder, hoping skags don't ambush me and break my gun into 4 separate parts before eating them. Outcome! That is exactly what is happening!
Oof. Skags ate a gun? No way to tell which one of the ugly things has it. Just start hunting skags and hope for the best.
Yeah, because you could go for a little bit. It seems to be the case.
There's
I
a
think it's
hidden lever somewhere that'll get you into Teddy's basement.
I think it's just basically cliff behind this anyway, which is why. Yeah, looks like it. Wait, am I getting 3 chunks of this rifle right here? That's handy. I do like that each piece gets marked. Well, and they all got marked in the first game too. They were just... It was more a case of, like, they had the little light mode on them. The difference was that... It's just...
Quiet!
Hello. What can I get from you? Anything orange? Anything orange? No, of course not. Because I'm just too powerful. Should almost wander back to the wildlife preserve. That one room is just full of goodies. What am I doing here? Yes, of course. The shamrock.
Teddy,
Pull the chain.
like a lot of people on Pandora, evidently, kept all his Echo correspondence. Find something that proves Hyperion stole his designs, so I can sue him into oblivion.
Well, first day on Pandora. Wife's not too happy about the move, but I'm sure things will be all right. This here's the beginning of our new life. Well, my wife's dead.
His lines in the first game too is that he can't remember her name. He says it in this set of recorders here.
Mare 8 by big ass skag scar. Once I'm with the that cute little gun I'll see if I can't get me some. You won't hurt nothing, Marion. I promise you that.
He buried her out in Skag Country. Did he not think they might dig her up and eat her? Eat the rest of her?
Scar blinded me and ate my leg. I may be a blind, crippled widower, but that don't mean all's lost. Met some folks looking for the vault. I did the see you later joke a couple times, but they just didn't get it. Oh, and I did find that old message I got from Hyperion a few years back. Hid it in the corner for safekeep. All rack spit. Bandits. Well, I'm sure this'll turn out all right. Mr. Baha,
We at Hyperion adore your wave rifle design so much that we have decided to appropriate it for ourselves. Our assassins are en route to your home on Isolus. Between us, Mr. Baha, I would suggest leaving the solar system before they arrive.
Great. That was just what I was hoping to hear. Now, if you can find the blueprints for the weapon design they ripped off, I'll give you the first gun my uncle ever gave me.
Hello, mercenary. Should you return those sensitive documents to the Hyperion Corporation, we can offer more than what Mr. Baha's niece can pay. A fine Hyperion armament, for example.
Don't listen to those corporate thieves. We both know my uncle deserves justice. And I'll throw in the first gun Uncle Teddy ever made for me.
So that was kind of surprising. I think pasts, generally speaking, usually only get about one part per zone. Still piss-wash gully here. You have to... Can't get vehicles in here either, so... Can't jump over the bridge. Significantly noticeable, actually, is the fact that Scooter's voice is a little more exaggerated in this case. This one has a lot of "Can't catch red." This one he's got a "You wouldn't kill the crap people ask." Less of a caricature and more of just a straight accent. Maybe I will just put this on for a little while. Am I carrying another class mod? Another cat mod. I don't need it. Ding, 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 ding. I don't need it. Roland was a soldier for Atlas. We used a Scorpio. Scorpio turret? Saber turret. I think he called his is a saber turret. Axon was from Dahl, and he has the Scorpion turret. So now Mose in 3 is from Vladoff, and they have mechs. Idea for part of my like fan design for Borderlands 3 would be for the soldier class to be based on my logic that I had, like based on the complete class and skill tree I had created for the sniper to be Hammerlock. I figured the soldier could be a Hyperion trooper who obviously they've been heavily brainwashed by Hyperion because they say things like "thank Jack" instead of "thank God." Spend a few months being tortured by bandits on Pandora. Might just break that brainwashing might get broken a little bit. Broken to the point where he's just kind of back to normal. He realizes, yeah, like, I work for the bad guys. My idea being that he regains a semblance of intellect and common sense.
Hey, you found all the gun parts. Bring them back here and I'll assemble them for you.
Regains a semblance of sanity. Because the Hyperion soldiers in this game can throw out turrets, so doesn't mean much in the same way that you can upgrade and make improvements to Axton's Scorpion turret. Alright. Much in the way you can improve the two turrets, classes 1 and 2. The idea being that you wouldn't be able to improve the Hyperion soldiers turret. The thing to me that was the most frustrating in this game is that the shield, like, you can't do anything to the shield, I think.
Good riddance.
Yes, he drops aiming gun. And the thing that was most frustrating to me is that the Scorpion turret in this game is just not... You can't do anything to the shield. And it would be great if you could boost it, because you'll throw it out, you'll stick it to a wall so it can have an elevated line of sight on enemies, and then there's a nomad with a rocket launcher. That one rocket, boom, knocks out the shield and your turret falls, and it was like, what was the point? So I think it would be great if you could strengthen that shield the way you can improve the... Basically the way you can improve on the death trap that the Mecha Monster uses. She has perks that up the shield for her, and once you hit her capstones, you share a copy of your shield with Death Trap, and then you also... The other capstone, the middle capstone, is you shoot him with an elemental weapon, and his melee attacks will carry that element. The question is, for something that's essentially non-elemental, I mean, slag is elemental, but more damage. Light Bone Shredder. Not sure if this is one that can ever show up with the name Bonehead's Bone Shredder, but mock. Empty this out so I have some room to put things, to put the payouts from these missions.
Almost dead? I can fix that. Try that.
So yeah, turn into Una here, or you can turn into Hyperion down at the actual gate.
Thank you. Hyperion's gonna have to spend billions in legal fees once this hits. I'm sorry I can't offer you more.
The thing is, you can do this after killing Handsome Jack, because it's a side mission, and you kind of see what's going on with Hyperion and Tails. It's like, the company's falling apart, essentially. Like, there's little to no control going on up there. Like, do you think they're going to worry about the niece of a Pandoran? Trying to hit them with I don't know, intellectual copyright fraud.
No charge this time.
This time. So yes, these are both really good guns. Right here. 800, not 500, 800% critical hit damage. So you land a critical with this thing and most things is dead. And the Stumper. Jacob's carbines are almost always really good. The question now is, compare game out of the box. A little slower. Reload's the same, that's... Not a whole lot more flat damage, but since I'm not using this, this will be ice as well. Versus this thing, which has an oxide, basically. Accuracy and the ankle. 311, yeah. This way I can leave my... It's a good question. I guarantee I have a more purer version of this in my choices, so I can get rid of it now. I'm probably gonna end up for a level or two and never using it. Let's just put it on. The other mission that I took.
Never hurts to know more about the man you're killing. While you're in the Nexus, grab whatever files you can on Jack.
Do I want to head on back? Head on back to the Jack. Well, because that's the thing, there's two in here. Most missions, when you pick up things, they'll just play in the order that they show in the list, but with this one, they play in kind of a positional factor. So the Wonder Bonehead is... Since there's nobody in here, I can just walk through. Garbage!
I don't understand, Daddy.
Say hello to your new home, darling. You're like a little princess. And this is your throne.
I want Mommy. Where's Mommy?
She's not coming back, Angel. No, get in a freaking chair.
I don't want to.
It's all good. There we go, in the chair.
So yeah. The Bonehead area is the first. Then. Sure, the one that's out here is the fifth one, because it's the... I'll just grab it. There's really no point in waiting. It's not this either. This is one with the Z.
Roland, Zed, if you're receiving this, respond as soon as you can. Blake came back again today and showed me some faked pictures of New Haven. The city was burning. A lot of people were dead. Blake said his boss burned the place to the ground when everyone living there wouldn't move out. Of course, I know those pictures had to be faked because you and the rest of your pals were holed up in New Haven and you would have stopped those troops from taking the town, right?
Badass point. Ooh, just on the edge of one. one situation where you could actually wreck this guy from far. Saturn! It's kind of surprising, this awesome heft. Doesn't get a lot of intro cinematic. He drops goodies. Not always good stuff. Usually a bit of money. At least one blue item. It's always his legs left over. Pretty sure he has a rare drop. Yes, let's get up here and onto this. Firestone Motel. Is that the same sign? Guess.
Okay, any candidates today, Angel?
No, it's the second one.
There are 4 treasure hunters who arrived on a shuttle several hours ago. They are currently on a bus to Firestone.
Great. Say this to them. Don't be alarmed. I need you to stay calm and don't let on that anyone is talking to you. Start making your way off the bus.
The bus is still moving, sir.
Shut up. Tell them.
John, why have you dispatched one of our satellites to Pandora? What are you doing?
Sir, the energy readings my instruments at home are getting from Pandora are...
Get out of there at once, you hideous little code monkey, and shut off that satellite.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, Mr. Tassiter. It won't happen again, sir.
For the sake of what she's doing, that is and will be a good sniper rifle. It's quite often the case that Siren benefits the most from... I almost certainly won't be using that. She benefits the most from high precision weapons, so sniper rifles are always good. That's a melee one. Melee ones are really good for elemental. It's just not something I'm gonna need right now. Oh yeah, I should try out the bow shredder. I should really go back and sell the clutter because there's a bunch of loot you can get up top.
Please stop.
Plastic is freaking shield would charge. Charge.
Surrender your weapon for the enemy. Damage sustained.
Garbage. You know, I think just because 289 versus 420, yes, it's more fire damage, but for the next little while, most of the enemies are robots and fire is almost useless. So, sorry. Oh yeah, since we're gonna main this. She was good while she lasted, but we need to lighten the load.
If you got the money, I'll save your goddamn life. You'll be. Come on back.
Buy one of those just because. That's what I should be doing. I should put the cap back on. Or leave a healing one on during those slogs that you know that there are.
Activating combat mode. Activating combat mode.
Hold it!
She gets up. We'll leave that because that is baked here. That's right, I haven't tried this out. An easy way to tell when you've gotten a critical with this when you're playing the Mecra Monster, because there's the one perk where getting a critical causes an explosion. So you'll just be hammering into an enemy and suddenly lightning storm! Yep, that was a critical. Ooh, and you drop some stuff up here too. Platform where you can load up on supplies if you weren't already full.
Yeah, I
I'm
know
gonna be
you
level
think
3.
I'm a monster, or you think I enslaved Angel, but you didn't see what she did to her mother. I had to restrain Angel's power. You get that? I had to.
And I'm sure he had to exploit her for profit and power, too. Don't listen, Vault Hunter. He killed Angel long before you pulled the plug.
Don't you dare speak about my daughter. Lilith has quite the little mouth on her, doesn't she? And as it turns out, when that iridium is pumping through her body, I can stab her over and over and over, and it just heals right back up. I'm told it's agonizing. Oh, she looks pissed.
Son of a bitch. We're coming, Lil. Just hold on.
Ooh. That goddamn
Look out! Invigorating.
boom. The charged shield just cuts him in half. Any other class, I run all the way back to behind this container because when he starts shooting out missiles and the nukes as well, they can't pathfind their way to you. They just start going straight up. Where do we put the point? We've got 4, 5, 6, 7 here. We've got 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in here. Converge. I've never played with the capstone on this. I certainly could with my higher Siren. I feel like I kind of wish Quicken had been further up. Like, if Quicken and Fleet had been switched, that would be better, because having the cooldown, increasing your cooldown rate, to me, is a bit more useful. and always respect. Money, money, money. Now I will put on Go Wildcats. We're putting the bitch back. Hey guys.
Great job, amigo. Now that you're in, there ought to be an info terminal nearby. Find it.
These are the snipers. That was the whole thing in my fan design. Classes in 3 could have been. I kind of had my heart set on the idea of Hammerlock being the sniper, so that way Hyperion could be the soldier, because we see them with turrets. And there's like the 3 kind of fundamental classes. You have the soldier, the siren, and the sniper. And then the 4th is the heavy, basically the tank. And the first one is obviously Brick, which is very melee focused. It's not the best thing to try to be so melee focused in a world where everyone has a gun. Which is why they realized there's a better way to class
Bigfoot Force.
this game.
Damn. Jack sent all the Iridium spies straight to the fuse packs.
Make that just involve
Back to Century.
a gun.
It's time to get ready for the final assault.
Stop struggling.
Isn't it beautiful? The bee just turns them inside out. Nice look at the distance. I'm certain I've commented this before. I would love to see, like, even if it was just a Myst style walking around game, like Pandora 500 years ago when it was still civilized and populated, the highway systems were working, full of traffic. All industrial traffic, because it's a planet, that's what it's saying, mining. Based on the need for capacity, because this green thing over here. That. Let's see what's on top here. Look at a minute, this highway was put in by Hyperion, so that's not there in the first game. It's just the old dirt road that goes out through the Badlands. But is all very neat. You can get on top of this, but you can't, like, follow it around and shortcut your way over there. Basically, goddamn visible wall right here. Which drops you down to that. Ooh. Little bit. Not bad. So many grenades. Hyper adaptive. 16, 21, and 14. Well, I don't know. Being so low, well, the real question is if how I'm doing on the shields challenge. Ammo eater. It's not topped out, but you only need tier 3 to get the skin, I think. Pretty sure. Alright, I think what I'm going to do here is finish off this Jack mission.
Who needs a medical license
Turn this
when
in.
you got style? Be careful out
Cut
there.
the episode here because we're at 75 minutes. And again, since we're sort of a down mode, we can put on the healing mod. Yeah, chunks really. Oh, really weird. So if you wanted to get the shotgun from that Uncle Teddy mission, you turn into this mailbox instead. I think there's a vehicle spawner on this side of the gate. I usually just fast travel back because it puts you right at the vehicle spawner. Nope. Look, idiots.
Authorized.
This is how we do it, man!
Area.
Son of a bastard!
There we go. Yeah, there's a close enough one. Yeah, this is the one where you can do a mission too. It's not really a mission, it's just a map challenge. You hit this switch and triggers enemies and you This is the 5th. I think that's what's happening, is I'm always doing the 3 and 4 out of order, so just going to destroy you all.
First law disabled.
That shut him up.
Yep.
Sir? We've
Okay,
lost at least a dozen staff to the Angel's malfunctions. We need to shut her down. Your wife suggested as much before her disappearance.
Jimmy, please make a note. I'm strangling Mr. Morin for bringing up my wife.
Choked? Mr. Morin?
No, Jimmy. Choking is something you do when you eat too fast. As I'm crushing Mr. Morin's windpipe with my watch chain, what I'm doing is actually referred to as strangling.
Please. Please.
There we go. Anything else on today's agenda, Jimmy?
It's Jeffrey, sir. And no.
Thanks, Jimmy. Well then, drinks are on Handsome Jack. God damn it! Go to hell! Why isn't this working, Angel?
I don't...
I've pumped every freaking ounce of iridium I've got into you, but the stupid key isn't working. Why?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
You're a siren. You're one of a kind. Now make it work. I want that freaking warrior, Angel. I want him awake, okay? I want him under my control now. I want him now. Not later, now!
That's the thing, it's just so much easier to hit that first recorder if you fast travel back, because it's right there by the fast travel. It's so much easier to hit the fourth one before you do it. Alright, you're up there somewhere.
Now, Mr. Tacitor, blackmail. Such a dirty little word, isn't it? Actually, no, I come to think of it, it's not a dirty word at all. It's kind of awesome. Blackmail. Say it with me. Back.
Oh, go to hell, John. Just because you got lucky with your Pandora hunch doesn't mean...
Because I was right, is what you mean. And call me Jack, idiot.
You may have been able to scare the other directors into giving up their shares, but I know you. I know that beneath that ridiculous mask, you're still a hideous, pathetic little nobody.
Mr. Tacitor, maybe you can settle up something for me. Do you know the difference between choking and strangulation?
If he ain't dead, I'll keep you that way. Catch you later. Don't have too much fun.
Anyway, you have to turn this silly thing in at the other map. So I'm gonna hoof it back there. With their high fire rate and low recoil, SMGs are bleh. Obviously, because I like the lore so much, it's going to be interesting to see what the whole stealing Siren powers attribute about the villains in the third game. Interesting to see how that goes, because like if we were able to combine Siren powers, that would be something to see. And it would speak to the lore of the Sirens.
If I didn't want Jack dead before, I sure as hell do now.
Do I want? Ooh, crap. The one that I took, I think was a slagging sniper, wasn't it? Usually I take these based on the likelihood to actually use them. I'm gonna take the slagging one and see how that compares.
797, 79. There's pros and cons to each.
Yeah. Same chance to slag. Flat damage is gonna be better. And it's more accurate, so. Even with a slower reload time, it's going to be the better one.
Angel, get this message to whomever's organizing the construction out in the Nexus. No matter what happens, make sure that old bandit town, Firestone, I think it's called, make sure it stays standing. That pissant little rest stop is where it all began. Oh, and another thing. I want it on company policy that instead of Firestone, we're changing its name to Jackville. Really twist the knife for those bandit bastards, you know what I mean? I want those vault-hunting sons of bitches to see what I've done to this place. I want it to stand as a testament to their failure. They couldn't protect New Haven, they couldn't protect Firestone, and they're sure as hell not gonna protect Sanctuary.
That's right. Turning data mining in. He's just back to Sanctuary. And then we will cut the episode, because we're at almost an hour and a half. Which I'm fine with doing now, just because it's gonna... It is a bit of a sloggy game, and I know it's not the best thing to stream, but... As I've said, the whole reason I'm doing this is just to have some content on my YouTube channel. Even as a not monetized channel.
Holy God, a Vault Hunter!
It's interesting, the video that starts this playlist is how to solve the Bloodshot Ramparts puzzle chest. It's actually gotten, I think, a few hundred views.
Haven't found anything good? My weapon machines will fix that for you.
It's not
I'm always happy to take your money.
prove anything it's not gonna make a huge difference if I monetize that, if I monetize the channel. It's just easier to avoid the potential of a copyright flag when you're monetized. Why did I do that? Because there is a copyright notice on, I think, the very first episode, just because I sat in the menu and heard more than 30 seconds of music. And if you were monetized, that copyright notice would result, it's not a strike, but it's a flag, and it just tells you as a content creator, you know, basically any ad revenue from this episode won't go to you, it'll go to the copyright holder of that music. But if your channel is literally not monetized, it is technically impossible to ever get a copyright strike, so it's the difference between I'm just making content, people want to watch it, they can watch it, and I'm making content to make money. And if you're making content to make money and someone else's copyrighted material is in there, they're going to come along and say, hey, you're not allowed to make money off of this. So, when that first episode has a flag that says, hey, there's copyrighted content in here, check the channel. Is it monetized? Oh, it's not. Okay, we'll just leave it alone. That's fine. They didn't want to monetize it, that's fine. We can't punish them for something they're not doing, so...
Relax, everybody. You're safe.
Buy a gun already. Your cash ain't worth a thing if you don't spend it.
Oh, and I'm level 30, so I can spend a key, and there's 2 active shift codes right now.
This ends now.
They're both worth the same, and I'm just gonna sell it anyway.
Jack, Lilith, and the Warrior are in Heroes Pass, so that's where we're headed. This is the final fight, amigo. If you got it prepared, do it now. Go check around the city. These people don't have much, but they still want to help you. Hyperion's locked the entrance to Heroes Pass. Get back to Claptrap. You'll need him to open the way for you. Brick and I will meet you once you're in. Win or lose, we're gonna finish this together. For Bloodwing. For Roland! For Pandora!
Probably not going to be using that at all. Yes, we should. We'll talk to everybody. Get some gear.
Though I generally have trouble verbalizing my thoughts into words that will not utterly confuse or nauseate you, I find my mental processes are now surprisingly focused. I have only 2 words for you, perhaps the most important 2 words ever spoken on Pandora. Kill Jack! Here, this may help you in your efforts to put a hilariously large hole in Jack's face.
Again, I was supposed to have gotten rid of that one. We'll get rid of that. Cooldown rate, though. That is something a Siren can use. I might just offload some of the lower level stuff here. I think I did use it for a bit, and it was a good, relatively good carbine, but this one will be just more precise, more deadly. Even though it's not automatic, it's better all around. Dr. Zed. He can help you. Am I going to want that shield? I'm going to get rid of that just because I know my Necromancer trophy case has a higher level version of this, and technically this too. Like, what I keep in trophy cases is vendor purity. So this will always have the Bandit 3 barrels, but this is a Jacob's body, Jacob's grip, and this is a Tediore pump. So technically I could sell it because I know I know for a fact I've got purer versions. If it helps lighten the kit. And that order shield is really only good if you can couple it with the law.
Don't get killed!
When you look at my inventory, I'm at 12 of 27. What I find to be usually the optimal running kit is about 1/3 of that. 1/3 of your capacity full, so I would need to try and get it down to 9. Since I'm barely using a rocket launcher. And a shotgun, for that matter. I should almost leave one of these 2 behind, but this is the best costed weapon I have right now.
There's no chance that internal bleeding will cure skull shivers, is there? Because I'm pretty sure I've got both.
You're gonna die.
I ain't the best with words, but I just want you to know I'm rooting for you out there. Jack kicked me out of my home back in Firestone. It's about time he got what's coming to him. Here, thought you could use this.
Acid no. Place like Opportunity that would be really useful. In game build though, it's
Had your shots.
adapters are probably the best. Dr. Scooter.
If that Vault Hunter comes by, you make sure and give him my love, alright?
What? Ooh, no, I ain't gonna do that.
I mean, wish him luck. Scooter.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Hey, and if we don't get through this, if Jack wakes his warrior or whatever, tell Ma I love her.
Hell, girl. Sure knows that. Catch a familial reconciliation!
Why you always gotta do that?
Hey, man. Ellie and I were just talking about you. Now, you make sure to come back alive, okay? If you can, come back with Jack's head on a pike. Haha, you hear?
What Scooter said. I wanna hollow that son bitch's gourd and eat nachos out of it.
Oh, nearly forgot. Ellie and I got something for you. Hope it helps.
Spending all this money
Could be
on
worse.
fairly
At least I'm not in
fairly hardware. If there's a chance for one of them to randomly hand out a legendary item, that would be pretty nice. That's the thing. That's the real issue, is I shouldn't... It's going to affect the shield, because I find that every time I go at the warrior with something legendary in my kit, I get nothing legendary from him. But I really want to take this shield in with me. So I'm gonna have to lighten off the bitch and the bonus package, because as useful as they are, just having watched me, just having seen the last, they're not items that are really being mained. Like, I only just put that grenade in. Bonus packages are area control.
I've had just about enough of that handsome jackass Sugar. Get rid of him, and you'll never pay for another drink again. Here, I got something for you.
It had bayonets.
Well, my old friend, I wish you the best. May you return from your quest with handsome blood on your hands and a smile on your face. Oh, and lest I forget, here you are. Thought it could be of some use.
My turn. Yes.
The best is when Michael Mamarill's hanging around at this point, because you get one extra item. Do I have enough?
What do you find here?
Shotguns, launchers. Yeah.
Take it and go.
Grenade up.
Maybe that helps you. You know where to find me.
Thanks, Randy.
Almost dead? I can fix that.
Jack's monopoly on weapons is running me out of business. But that's not why I want him dead. I want him dead because he's a greedy, murdering son of a bitch who needs to die screaming. Good luck. Here, you might need this.
25.
Sup, sucker? It's Tina. I wrote you a poem. It goes a little something like this. Break it down. Kill Jack, kill Jack, kill Jack, kill Jack, kill Jack. Kill Jack. A poem by Tiny Tina.
And then Dr. Claptrap. What is a good end game build? What should I go and look at? I'm gonna spend a key as well. Let's see if it's worth it, because half the time it's a crap shoot. I really like this head. Not in this palette per se, but like some are just very kind of, I want to say abstract, but a lot, like especially like this one, it doesn't carry the color palette of the skin. It is neat though that the tattoos become snowflakes with this one instead of Siren. Bright Punk, I like the that's just so it's just so out of place. Classic Maya. Knocked to the top of the list during one of the various... Maybe by one of the updates, I'm not sure, but... Let's go back to that. It's called Red-Nosed Pain Deer. It's up near the bottom. See, that's the thing, the Nisha homage skin will color the heads, but all their skins won't color the Nisha head. So yeah, let's go special edition. Go Joan Jett on it. Ready to turn it up. 99 minutes. Oh yeah, we still got lots of capacity. I might end up just thinning out all the stuff that I'm not going to use anyway. I might use this sniper, but elemental snipers are going to be better for an endgame build. 250 keys, because there's 10 keys where the shift code's active right now. I think I already said that. Dun dun dun!
Nice.
They are a nice Vladov Pushka anti-aircraft gun and a nice Dahl electric sniper. That's the thing, when you've got the B shield, because you have a guarantee to get a shock add-on to the shot. The shock snipers are just not as necessary. You want to have anything else, basically, like you want to have a slagging sniper. So. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here. It is 100 minutes. I will cut this episode here. This will be number 40. Technically 41 because I numbered my stuff wrong, but maybe I'll cut the ending into 2 and get to 42, or I'll just do it all as one big session, because at this point you are literally 2 hours from being done the game. Probably not even. But yep.